What is up, guys? Eric here with Team Eccentric. I know it's been quite some time since I've posted on this channel, but yeah, I pretty much stopped playing the game for a while. Felt a little bit uninspired. It's been over a year now, you know, in terms of how long this hiatus was, but I figured I would restart this channel a little bit, and what better way than to go to a locals and play my favorite deck, as you can see is water. Obviously, you know, I'm not totally up to date with the meta and how things work entirely, but I do know that Eldritch is probably one of the best decks with 3 skill drain. Tri-Brigade is another one. I know that you know, Lyrilusk, you know, the bird deck is a little bit weird because Samorg got banned, and you know, a few other things. But all that noted, I figured I would just try to bring you guys what I played in this last locals. So we're clear, I went X2. The deck didn't perform as well as I wanted it to, but I do feel that there are some glaring issues with this build now that I look at it and consider it in this current format. So we're gonna get right into it. I will also be profiling the side deck and probably fixing that as well. I do also have a Ready Fusion version of Water, which I will probably be testing and bringing to you guys eventually, but just not right now. I figured I would bring you guys this version. This is more of a synchro based kind of hand loop / play during your opponent's turn version. So started off, obviously we're playing the triple Naptivus. I mean, what more to say? I mean, this card is bonkers. Then we're playing triple Atlantean Dragoons, obviously. Same thing, bonkers, not once per turn. Then we're playing double heavy infantry. I figure double, I know some people have dropped it to 1, some people are playing 3. I like it at 2 still. I feel like it gives you the right amount of you know, consistency in terms of seeing it and not seeing it. So, you know, you see it sometimes you don't. I am playing 1 marksman. I know a lot of people actually don't even really play marksman, but I feel like right now set cards are really relevant. And yeah, while your opponent can just flip the set card that you would target, it at least forces them to flip it so you know exactly what it is before going in with your combo turns. So that is it for the Atlantean package. Moving forward, we have the obvious triple Deep Sea Diva. I mean, if this card's at 3 and you're playing water, you play it at 3. It's just as simple as that. Then we're playing triple Deep Sea Minstrel. I am trying to hand loop with this deck, so I'm doing a lot of going first combos. So you want to, you know, rip your opponent's hand traps and be able to play through you know, anything that they would have. And also on top of that, obviously the hand knowledge is really ridiculous. So, but this is all not news. None of this is news to anybody. Then triple Teus. We are getting into the Mermail package, and it's considerably smaller than before. So yeah, like I said, triple Teus, 1 Megalo. If anybody remembers my last deck profile from like a little over a year ago, even when Minstrel came out, I still swore by 3 Megalo, but now I feel that 1 is actually optimal. I mean, you could even argue 2. Playing 3 isn't terrible, you could do it, but I just feel like you know, it kind of clogs your hands a little bit. Whereas 1 or 2, you know, you get to search it, you see it when you want it, you don't see it when you don't, kind of deal. Same thing, it's also searchable, so it's not as if you'll never see the card. I have considered bumping it to 2. In this locals, Megalo actually did put in quite a bit of work, especially with the equip spell. It actually did do quite some work there, and I did hand loop the living shit out of people because of the because of searching Megalo. I was able to synchro into the Trishula and rip cards. So that's one thing. Then we have Mermail Abyss Pike, just 1 copy, searches the minstrels, the gun, the marksman. Then 1 gunned, just to be able to pseudo reborn stuff. It's actually pretty good. To be honest with you, this lineup I feel like is probably going to be my lineup for Mermail going, the actual Mermail engine at least going forward. I feel like this is probably going to be it. If not, maybe I'll add in 1 more copy of Megalo just to kind of you know, hedge my bets in terms of being able to make big pushes during my OTK turns. So now we're getting into the frog package. 3 swap frog, 1 Ronin, pretty standard. Then 1 Mulan, obviously I am trying to hand loop people. Granted, hand looping people right now may not be the best strategy, but it seemed to work at a locals. If you were to go to some kind of a higher tier event, maybe it might not be the best idea because you have things like Virtual World, which light cards in the graveyard, and Tri-Brigade, which literally trigger when their cards hit the grave. So Moulin may not be the best thing, but it all really depends upon your combo line. So then we're playing 1 Lapis Dragon, 1 Fishboard Launcher. These are all standard water cards that pretty much everybody else is playing. I opted to main deck for the last 3 monsters, 3 Gamma Seal. This actually didn't do too badly. However, to be honest with you, I would probably end up, just because I feel like hand traps probably would have been more relevant at that tournament, or at least at that specific locals. I probably would cut these for something else, maybe you know, 3 Imperms, or maybe just like Ash Blossoms or something like that. I mean, I will admit I do like the Gamma Seals, and plus because I am playing Mermail of Greed in this build, I don't feel that these were the worst choice ever. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like it was just kind of hit or miss in terms of whether this card was totally useful in terms of its inherent, you know, and the inherent ability to clear cards. So moving forward with the spells, we played 2 Aria. 3 is a little bit bricky in my opinion. 2 is just right. We played 2 Moray. Same thing, a little bit bricky for more than 2. Even 2 gets a little bricky sometimes. But then a card that I tested, and at first I kind of liked, but then after really like using it, it felt kind of like it kind of made some of my combos a little bit worse, was Pot of Avarice. And it's not to say that Pot of Avarice is necessarily a bad card in this deck, because it's actually really nuts when you resolve it. The problem is if you go into a turn and you get hand trapped, you're very unlikely to get 5 monsters in your graveyard unless you link everything away and then try to draw into stuff. And then in your brickier hands, this card just becomes a blank card. It literally does nothing. So that's it for the 2 of spells. Then 1 Abyssgale and Mizuchi, 1/1 going Called by the Grave. Pretty much standard stuff that everybody remembers. Now we're getting into the extra deck. So like I said, this is a slightly bit more of a synchro variant in a sense. More combo based rather than like the you know, with the ready fusions and instant fusions. So which I will be profiling eventually. But we played 1 Apollosa. It's pretty standard. 1 Crystron Halcyon Fibrax, 1 Coral Anemone, 1 Abyss Alacia, and 1 Bujinki Hashima. A lot of these have been played in Mermail, so I don't really feel like I need to describe what any of these do. I mean, this is for the Deep Sea Diva combo, if that's the only card you want to use at the time. Abyss Alacia is obviously the Mermail link, so it ditches waters and it allows you to reborn something when it's destroyed. This is literally a pseudo reborn during your turn. Halk allows you to special summon tuners from your deck, yada yada. Special summon a tuner synchro monster from your extra deck during your opponent's main phase or battle phase. And then obviously Apollosa is for monster negate Gobur. Then for the Xyz monsters, we have Gaios. That's pretty standard as well. I mean, it's a walking skill drain that can have an equip spell equipped to it, which makes it big. 1 Abyss Dweller, because it's Abyss Dweller, actually did come up in 1 game against Connor in the tournament. I did lose to Connor, however, the game that I played a Dweller, that I was able to manage, that I managed to make the Dweller, it actually did come up and it did win me the game, practically. 1 Bahamut Shark for the Toad engine. That's pretty much it for the Xyz monsters. It's kind of funny, I have 5, 5, and 5, and now the Synchros. We have 1 Satellite Warrior. You use the Dragite and a Formula Synchron that you summon off of your Hulk to go into this and pop cards after you already used the Dragite negate. And then if your opponent manages to not realize what Alacia does and destroy it, you bring back the Dragite, which I've done multiple times. Then after that, we have Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier for the hand loop. 1 Adamancipator Risen Dragite, obviously. It's probably one of the best water-based synchro monsters to have ever come out. Besides Trishula. 1 Desert Locust, which actually I never even summoned. This card was literally, it's funny because I actually forgot to bring this card. I originally played a Borolo Dragon, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm trying to play Hand Loop. So I got this card from the store for 50 cents, or 25 cents rather. And then when I put it in, I thought, all right, I'm trying to Hand Loop people. And I never even summoned this because I was trying to do the Formula Synchron play and go into the Satellite Warrior most of the time, because people weren't really like trying to like build hand advantage as much as they were just trying to play things like Trickstar and Virtual World. So You know, I would definitely change this card out. And then last but not least, obviously, the Formula Synchron to go into the Satellite Warrior. So that is it for the main and extra. And now for the side deck that I played in this tournament, which I would definitely change pretty much almost everything. Maybe just keep a few cards in. For the monsters in the side deck, I played the Gamma package. I figured that this was kind of all-encompassing in terms of what it hit. You know, if my opponent was playing Sword Soul, the moment they summoned the Moye, I could use this. If my opponent was playing Tri-Brigade, I could use this. If my opponent was playing Phantom Knights, I could use this. However, the problem with this card is that you draw this. That's my only issue with this card. Other than that, this card actually did put in a little bit of work, especially against the Bird matchup. Or the Tri-Brigade Lyrilusk matchup rather than anything. And it did a little bit of work, but still it didn't manage to win me the match. Honestly, I feel like this deck did better going first because obviously I was catalyzing hand loops, and I managed to hand loop people at least once in every match. It's just that it didn't really amount to much, you know, in terms of taking the entire match. I just, you know, I would hand loop for game 1, game 2. I would, you know, go second and try to OTK and either fail or succeed in game 3. It just depends, really. But moving forward, we played Triple Dark Ruler No More for decks that build boards. Then Triple Infinite Permanence for pretty much the same thing. Triple Evenly Matched for back row decks, as well as Twin Twisters for back row decks. So yeah, that was my Mermail deck that I used at locals recently. I went X2, and really, honestly, I feel like this version of this deck, as fun as it is, it's not as competitive. The Avarice really, honestly, did not help me in any way. I feel like I'm gonna cut these. I mean, they're good in the sense that, like, you can, if your opponent does hand trap you and you have ways to keep going, you can Avarice and then draw more cards. But like if you've already eaten your normal summon, it's very rare that these will actually be consequential in any really serious capacity. Honestly, what I want to do is I want to get 2 Triple Tactics Talent and swap those in for these. I feel like that would actually be really good. So that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I will be changing this deck up a little bit and probably doing some test hands soon, and we will see where it goes from there. I know this kind of came out of the blue. I will be posting sort of regularly. It just kind of depends, really. I just feel as if, like, I was uninspired playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back when I quit around last year, and with Drytron and decks like that, I just really felt as if it was my time to step away from the game for a bit. And I honestly didn't even know if I was going to come back to the game ever, but I find myself in a weird predicament because I'm in Buffalo, New York, and it's snowing, so, skateboarding's kind of on hold either way, and I needed something to do. So I decided to pick my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards up again. But that said, I will most certainly be trying to post as often as possible. I'm going to see if I can get everybody else back in on it as well. I know Tom wants to profile some lists, and we will basically just kind of see from there. So thanks guys for the views, thanks guys for the support. I appreciate if you guys have stayed with the channel even though I haven't posted content in a year. I've just been doing life things and skateboarding and filming skateboarding. I actually finished my skate video as well, which is something I'm very proud of. So that was something that kind of took precedent. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Eric here with Team Eccentric. I appreciate the views. Let me know what you guys think, and I will post again soon. Eric here, Team Eccentric, out.